Okay, so remember all those articles about AI writing
Yeah.
tools?
Yeah, the ones we were talking about.
Exactly.
Mm.
We did a deep dive into all of that, especially focusing on that 30-day experiment.
Right.
And I think we found some really interesting things about how these tools actually handle SEO.
You know, what's really fascinating about that experiment is that the person who was running it, they were dealing with a problem that a lot of people face, which is that SEO writing.
Oh, yeah.
It can feel like a full-time job, you know?
Yeah.
It takes so much time. It takes all the research and you often need some pretty specific knowledge to do it well. So the idea that AI could come in and actually speed things up
Yeah,
and make sure your content actually ranks well in the search engines, I mean, it's super appealing.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And they really jumped in. They went all in on AI-powered writing for like a whole month,
Wow.
using, some of the most popular platforms out there, ChatGPT, Jasper, Writesonic, and Copy.ai. And their goals were, pretty clear. They wanted to see, first of all, could they actually climb those search engine rankings?
Yeah.
Could they free up some of their time?
Right.
And could they still maintain like a really good quality of content?
It's a good question.
Yeah, and it wasn't just like sticking to one type of writing either.
Yeah.
They were doing blog posts, product descriptions. They even used it for social media captions.
Wow, they really covered the bases.
Yeah, they were really trying to put these tools through their paces. And to really make sure this wasn't just, like a for fun experiment.
Right.
They tracked a bunch of metrics, obviously keyword rankings,
Of course.
but also things like how people were engaging with the content,
Yeah.
the readability scores,
Okay.
and maybe most importantly, how all of this was actually impacting their website traffic.
So like the real world results.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They wanted to see, did this actually make a difference?
Makes sense.
And I'm curious, from all of that, all the different things that they looked at, what were some of the things that were kind of unexpected that you found in this experiment?
Well, let's start with the good news.
Okay.
I think the experiment really shows that these AI tools do deliver when it comes to speed and efficiency.
Okay.
Creating content was noticeably faster compared to, if they were doing everything manually.
Right.
And the built-in SEO features that a lot of these tools have,
Awesome.
things like keyword targeting,
Yeah.
or even integration with platforms like ClearScope.
Oh, I've heard of ClearScope. What was that like? How did that play out in the experiment?
Well, it was a game changer when it came to keyword research.
Okay.
So the integration with ClearScope allowed them to really quickly see which keywords were most relevant to their topic.
Okay.
And they were able to just kind of adjust the content as needed, saving hours of like manual research.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a big plus for using some of these tools. But I'm guessing there were some downsides too.
Oh, yeah. There were definitely some things they noticed.
Okay.
One of the things was that the tone of the AI-generated content, sometimes it could be a little bit generic.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't quite have that personal touch, like
Yeah.
that unique voice that you would get from a human writer.
Right. Yeah.
And then there's also the issue of keyword stuffing.
Ooh, yeah. I've heard about that.
Yeah. Some of the tools, particularly Jasper, they tended to over-optimize titles with keywords.
Oh,
So they would sound very robotic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to fix that, they actually had to go back and kind of rewrite some of the titles
Okay.
and try to find a better balance between keywords and like a natural sounding language.
It's interesting though, because you need some level of keywords
Right.
for SEO, but where's like the line?
Yeah.
Where do you know if you're doing it too much?
Right. And that's the thing. Keyword stuffing is where you kind of cram in the keywords unnaturally.
Yeah.
And that actually makes your content harder to read.
Right.
And it can even hurt your rankings.
Oh, wow.
So it's not doing you any favors. And what was really interesting about this experiment is that it highlighted that even with all these tools, human editing and fine-tuning, it's still essential.
Right.
It's not just a set it and forget it kind of thing.
Yeah.
You still need that human touch to make sure the content is engaging, that it's readable,
Right.
and that it really reflects your brand's voice.
So it sounds like it's more of a helpful assistant than a replacement.
Yeah, very much so.
What about the impact on website traffic? Did they find any interesting results there? Any aha moments?
Well, this is where things get really interesting.
Okay.
One of the most surprising findings was that blog posts that were created with Writesonic,
Yeah.
they actually saw a 15% increase in organic traffic compared to similar posts that they had written manually.
That's significant.
Yeah. And even though there were still some of those drawbacks that we talked about, like the tone and the keyword stuffing, it seemed like the AI tool was doing something right when it came to SEO.
So you're saying that even if the tone sounds maybe a little robotic, that the AI could actually be boosting traffic.
Yeah, and we think it might be because of the AI's ability to really effectively target and incorporate relevant keywords throughout the text.
Okay.
So even though the tone itself needs a little human,
Mhm.
polishing, the underlying SEO structure
Yeah.
seems to be like quite sound.
Okay. So after seeing all of this and hearing about all these different results, I think the big question is, are these tools worth your time?
Yeah.
Here's what we think.
Based on this experiment, AI writing tools, they can definitely be a valuable asset,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not a simple yes or no.
Yeah.
They're not going to magically solve every problem you have with content, but they can be really powerful tools when you use them strategically.
Okay.
They really excel at tasks like, say, generating initial drafts,
Mm-hmm.
optimizing for those keywords,
Well,
saving you time.
right.
But, it's important to remember they still need that human guidance. You have to refine the tone,
Yeah.
make sure it's readable, and inject that personality.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So for folks out there who are listening and maybe thinking about, diving into these tools themselves, what would you recommend?
Well, I think bloggers, e-commerce
Yeah.
businesses, even small businesses that are just looking to streamline their content creation process,
Right.
they could all benefit from using these tools. I think the key is to start with, like, clear goals.
Yeah.
What are you actually hoping to achieve with this?
Yeah.
And then, experiment. Experiment to find the tools and the workflows that work best for you.
Right.
And don't underestimate the importance of having that human oversight.
Really good advice. And it makes you think too, these tools are continuing to evolve.
Yeah.
And how is this going to continue to reshape, the whole world of content creation
Oh, for sure.
and marketing and even our relationship with technology in general?
Yeah, definitely.
Something to think about as we move forward in
Yeah.
this crazy world of AI-powered writing.
It is. It's very interesting to see where things are going.
Absolutely.